Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our Yasher podcast.
Welcome back.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Want to chat?
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, we're excited to be back.
Always.
Yeah.
Every week, same thing.
Yes. And then after we're done, James goes into work mode and doesn't talk to me for like 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I lock it down. I want to tell you guys something. Listen, we ain't going anywhere. We're staying right here
Yep.
till we die. Till you die.
Stop.
We ain't stopping. Oh, man.
How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. It's been a fruitful week. Although we dealt with some crackheads on one of my job sites. Bunch of crackheads running around.
Really?
They're just lurking.
Yeah, it was a weird location. So there was weird people here in our town. The downtown is just very sketchy.
Any downtown, I'm sure everybody can relate. Any downtown.
You think
is.
so? Yeah, I guess
Oh,
parts
yeah.
of it, but ours is small and the whole thing is sketchy. Doesn't have it doesn't have areas. It's just sketchy.
It's just downtown is condensed. Downtown is crackheads.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like just such a it's so annoying because even though it's locked, you're just like, I'm not gonna put it past them.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what
like
they-
your car and stuff.
Yeah, you never know what they're gonna try and
They
take.
need crack, man.
Crack, yeah, oh yeah. Steal rollerblades or something. Yeah.
So you've been busy. I've been back at work, of course, but I love my job. It's really nice.
How's it been back at work?
Really good. I love my students. I love my class. Everything is great. Everything's going really nice. But I've always felt like that towards my job. It's never been like I hate going in, you know, because I don't also work all day. So I get to have a nice balance, a very nice balance. So
That's the most important thing, when you have a job that you actually don't mind going to.
yeah, exactly.
Because you have to go every day.
Baby, listen to this. I got lucky
You got lucky. Ooh.
with my job.
What a segue.
I always do it, man. I'm so smooth.
Man, I was about to drop something too.
No way. What were you
Yeah.
going to say?
I was like, don't you feel lucky to have that?
I got it first. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers our water.
Yes.
Look at that. Did you guys hear that? Catch that. Oh, that's the tooth sound.
Yeah.
That's some ASMR glass chipping.
Yum.
Just slurping on the mic.
So today we are talking about
luck.
luck. L-U-C-K.
Luck, yeah.
Not L-I-C-K. Lick.
Like Lucky Charms.
One time for James's birthday, because he likes Lucky Charms
Yeah, that was sick.
cereal, but the marshmallows in it, I bought 3 or 4 large sizes, and I selected every single marshmallow in a huge bowl, and I just gave him the marshmallows.
Literally drop a comment if you can relate to that. The Lucky Charms or just straight marshmallows in a cereal.
Yeah. Also drop a comment. Who does that? Just me. Such a good girlfriend.
That's such a clutch move.
Yeah, it was his girlfriend then. It was for his birthday. It was part of his that day what
That's like
he experienced.
That's like a child's fantasy to just have a straight up bowl of marshmallows and milk.
And not the letters.
Honestly, straight up Lucky Charms actually sucks.
Yeah,
without
the
the
actual
marshmallows.
cereal
Like the cereal's
sauce.
whack.
It's the marshmallows that makes it nice.
Yeah.
I had it in Yosemite, remember? At our all-you-can-eat breakfast.
Kind of breakfast was that? Yeah. It's like
It was just cereal,
2 different
like an
kinds of
apple.
muffins. Yeah, and some cereal. Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, we're talking about luck and being lucky and if you believe in it and what you think
kind of,
about it.
Yeah, what kind of defines luck for you?
Yeah. And it's funny because today I was at a cafe and I was just reading and I was doing some work and I read this summary of a book and it talked about how life is actually all of our life decisions. Yes, we have sometimes factual information to go off of, but if we really think about it, life is like a bet or like a poker game. It's
Yeah,
not like a
yeah.
chess game. Chess game, you know, when you lose, you didn't make the right moves.
Right. Yeah.
But poker game is like you need to get the right cards, and that's the part of luck. And then you would make the right decision, and however you act to like that poker face kind of thing.
You remember what that book was called? The name of it?
No, I was just thinking about it, but
Was it a
maybe-
book or like an article?
It's a book, but it was the summary of the book because I have this app called Headway, and maybe they can sponsor us. I'll reach out to them on Instagram.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, so they have summaries of like any book you want, and you can listen and or read it or both. So yeah, it was really nice. If I'll try to think about it as you talk to see what it was called.
Yeah.
Life is a bet. That's what
Life is a bet?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it said that it believed, like, according to that author, that life is like half luck.
It's kind of a gamble.
Yeah, it's a gamble, and you have to be okay with what happens and like just try. You have to understand that there's uncertainty, which is kind of nice for me to hear. We've been talking about it. And that you have to move through life knowing that not everything is for sure. And you have to be okay with that, which
You can't be worried about the unknown.
Yeah, which is so hard for like someone like me. I don't know about you.
Well,
I think you're okay with it.
Yeah, because I think growing up, I was faced with a lot of unknowns and a lot of unpredictability. So it doesn't even cross my mind. You just kind of deal with what comes forward, right? Which I don't think is like a very stable way of living. I think there can be a balance. Like I think like where I would have an imbalance is that I don't, like I could easily brush things off.
Right.
Or like forget about things and not really learn the lesson that was in what I learned, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know. I first discovered like I kind of really took luck into like started considering it and thinking about it when I was reading that book. If you can actually believe I read one book. Actually, no, I read, how many books do you think I read? Take a guess.
Like 3.
Exactly.
No way.
Yeah.
Something in SLI probably, and then
I read, actually, oh yeah, I forgot about those books. I read 2 of those. 2 out of the 8 or something like that. No, but I read, Tuck Everlasting. I love that book. That's an amazing book.
What? You've
Tuck
never said that to me.
That was one of my favorite books.
What
growing
is
up.
it?
It's
a
about
story?
Yeah, it's a story about this
Cool.
well that if you drink from it, you get everlasting life. No, it's actually a really deep
That's so
concept.
cute. When did you read that?
That was like elementary, and then
Aw.
I actually read it 3 times because I loved the book so
Oh.
much. So I did it in elementary, junior high, and high school. I did like book reports on that.
Did
And
you
I
use
can't
the
remember.
same
It's so
report?
long ago that I need to refresh my mind. But it's such a good book.
What's it called? Everlasting
Tuck Everlasting.
Tuck?
Yeah. Tuck.
Is that the person?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a character. It was cool. I still have the picture. Like that's the thing that I always think about. I have that picture of what it looks like, the setting
what? Oh, in your mind.
in my mind. Yeah.
That's why people who read books and then watch the movie always are disappointed.
Yeah, because it's
Because
never
your
what they thought.
imagination is always
Yeah.
nicer, which is so cool if you can imagine things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's actually this book. It was an army book by this journalist, Sebastian Unger, that book
Mhm.
called War. I think I've told you about it.
Yeah, you've read that.
It's a really like graphic book. It's about this journalist who like joined these soldiers in Afghanistan, joined them in combat when they were in the mountains. It's like a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
And he kind of was saying that literally by going to this place, there's no real tactics or strategies you can plan for. It's luck. Like,
no way.
and there was this one.
Yeah, that makes so much sense with war.
Yeah. And war is the craziest thing because they talk about that because some people say like, oh, there's all these strategies. This is what they did. This is all this and all this. And he's like, literally, I saw this firsthand. Like, this is just straight up luck. Like if you literally were 2 inches away, like when he was driving in, bomb blew up under their engine block. Literally, think if they were 10 seconds late,
It's
that would have blew up in
literally
his
all
back
luck.
seat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's 80% luck. War
Yeah.
is, I would say, 80% luck.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that
I
was,
know nothing about war and being a soldier, but I would think like missiles are flying, hitting like one over there, not you. That's luck.
Yeah, and like mortar strikes. Think about mortar strikes. You literally have an estimation of where the person is, and it's like you lob a bomb up into the air, and it just drops down. And you literally could just stand left or right. And even then, even if you run further, you're hoping that they're accurate to where you were, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to run into it.
Also, if you think about how soldiers, the ones who make it and come back, have such a bad guilty feeling because they always ask themselves, why did I get lucky and not my friends? Yeah. What was it about
survivor's guilt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what kind of made me think about luck.
Cool.
I would consider myself a lucky person. Look who I married.
But I'm bish. That's sweet. Yeah, I feel lucky too. Especially just how my life turned out from where I was in Iran and I could have had a hard life where I couldn't go to school, let's say, or, get my education. And it's a hard country for women in general. And now I have a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
And of course, you're so kind and nice. Sometimes I don't think that.
What do you mean?
I always have to twist it. It's so funny that way. Life is about being fun. What is life without fun? We're watching Love is Blind season 5.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best. I can't wait to go back upstairs and watch it.
Oh man, that show is hilarious.
But so you feel lucky in your life?
I do. I think I was lucky. So this is how I think about it. I was never a religious or God. What do you call that? What would you say that?
Like a spiritual person?
Spiritual person. Mm-hmm. I wasn't raised that way. I just was raised to survive, I guess, I don't know how you say that.
It's like you were in a jungle or something.
No, but like, what do you mean? Like,
you're like a lion.
Yeah, I was
like
just
a cub.
I was just thrown in a ditch,
Yeah, you talk about.
No, like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like raised like just with like good morals, I guess. Try to have the best morals you can.
Yeah.
So when I look back at my life through all the times and like where I am now, okay, I look at all the like opportunities where I used to think I was lucky until I became like a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. Then I start to think, oh, was that like God? Was that someone guiding those things or putting those into my life? Yeah. Then I think, or was it just luck? Or did I just work hard?
Or is luck God?
Yeah.
Partly.
And it's like, how many times could you be lucky?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think about
guess.
Every single job I've had, either I have a very positive perspective or I've just been super lucky with my employers. But like, even like my bosses, they've all been like the kind of people that I need to have as an employer to kind of guide me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somewhat in that stage of life. And then it's so crazy.
I don't think it can be one or the other. I think it's always both, because I commend you for all the things that you do for your business. And I think that plays a huge role with that. But at the same time, I also think, you do get lucky because you get people who are really nice too. So I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's definitely both.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like, are you talking about my business?
Anything really.
Oh, okay.
People in your life. I was talking about business, but it could apply to anything. Like people in your life, whether you worked for someone or who was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you had a hard, difficult childhood, but you were able to like survive it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that survival was not only you putting in the work, but also some lucky situation.
But that's the thing. Okay. So consistently, that's why I said, I either have a positive outlook,
it's both,
or I'm lucky, because like literally every time I could have had the best, I literally had the best situation you could have for that job available, even Alberta, one of the worst places for like demographic for drug addicts and rough people to be around, and a place to just literally hit rock bottom and keep going. I ended up on a crew that had nobody with drug addictions Nobody with alcohol addictions. Everybody was solid. The rig worked the whole time.
Yeah, you guys
You know?
actually worked, so you were busy.
Everybody wanted to be on that rig. When they came, they wanted to leave, but
Because it was hard.
yeah. But it was like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think of those opportunities.
I think you
It's crazy.
are lucky. We are. As human beings, you can always find things that you're lucky for or about.
Yeah.
Lucky for?
Lucky for you. What? That sounded
As
weird.
as a human being, you can always find things that you're lucky about. I should know this. I'm an English teacher. It doesn't make sense. Things that you have luck in.
One who feels luck. One who is engaged with luckiness.
You know what I mean. Everybody can find something that they're grateful for, that they feel like, oh, I'm so lucky to have that. It's
Perfect.
funny because, this feeling of luck is something I have felt strongly. And then when you feel it really strongly, and then life, like certain things happen in life and then you don't feel it as strong, it's really tough. And like you learn that, like, that's just like, you need to understand, okay, life is like this way for a period of time, and then it might not be like that.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think growing up and the benefits, I don't know if it's a benefit, but the benefit of, having your expectations not met, as a kid and being disappointed as a kid, is that you don't get attached to those things as deeply, like luck or like good things, like too much. You know what I mean? Like if
you get attached, I guess, to other things.
Yeah, I would say you get attached more to the negative things. Actually,
like
I don't know.
Objects.
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe objects. Yeah, it manifests
Things
in different ways, but like I feel like those things are a little bit less earth-shattering than
for sure. It's more like
feel
shallow.
like you have no luck.
Yeah.
You lose that expectation.
Honestly, I think it has a lot to do with personality, because I know certain people who are maybe a little bit more negative and they don't feel lucky. Even if I think about their life as a whole, I'm like, wow, you have been so lucky. Actually, there's so many things that you should be grateful for, but they don't see it. So I think luck also plays with positivity. Like if you are a positive person, I feel like you generate luck in your life. Also
gratefulness. I think gratefulness and luck really can.
Yeah.
Because how can you feel lucky if you're not grateful for anything?
Yes. If you're a grateful person, you feel lucky.
Yeah, true.
No matter what. And like at the end of the day, anytime I feel sad or I don't feel like something is going my way or the way I want it to go, and it's not in my hands, it's like somebody else's hands, then I think about things that I can be grateful for, and then I'm fine. You know what I mean? It's not so earth-shattering, especially because I'm a very like emotional and sensitive person. So it's like these things are what kind of calms me down.
I wouldn't say you're sensitive.
No?
I wouldn't say you're sensitive. No,
yeah, not sensitive as in like, I know what you mean.
I wouldn't even classify you as emotional.
No?
You're just very loving, right? Like you're very, you have this loving side. And then when it's not love, it's like foreign. So that kind of like.
Oh, so I don't know how else to kind of.
No, it just kind of like makes you unsettled or uneasy.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I wouldn't say you're like emotional because you're a very stable person. You know?
Thank you very much.
No problem. Just want to clear that up.
Yeah, I mean it in a healthy way, not an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
I can get emotional about things, but in a normal, healthy way, probably. Yeah. But luck plays a huge role in people's lives, because now I look at certain people in my life who have lived for a long time. Like when I think about my grandpa's life and he has passed away, you know, think about your grandpa's life, like your dad's life, like the things that happen in their life to bring them to certain places. Like my grandpa used to be a shepherd. That's the person who herds sheep, right?
Yeah.
Like literally he would walk from like village to village with his sheep, and like, you know what I mean? And then he ended up in Canada. He lived a super comfortable life, all his kids were around him when he passed away. Every single one. Every single kid was around him when he took his last breath, and most of his grandkids. And you were there too. People who got to know him the last like 5 years of his life.
He was such a cool man.
Yeah, just think about it, you know? He made some good decisions. And also he got lucky in certain ways. Like he had a good wife, my grandma.
Yeah.
He had good kids, you know? They stood by him. They all came together and they treated each other with love, and they wanted to be, you know, kind. And, you know, that's the ultimate really luck. Maybe if he married someone else, his whole life would have been different. Or maybe if he never came here, of course his life would have been different. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Guys, this man, Tina's grandpa, Baba, how old was he when he broke? He had that injury?
His femur?
Yeah.
I think 92.
92?
Yeah. He passed away at 92, 93.
Oh, okay. So this man broke his femur at 92. Okay. Tina's brother and I were there.
It was your birthday.
It was my birthday. Yeah, we were having birthday dinner. We went over there because I don't know, someone called us.
He called.
He called.
Yeah, he got my grandma, and my grandma by then had her Alzheimer's was there. So she wouldn't understand what he was saying. So he said it took him half an hour to get him the phone because he couldn't move on the floor.
So he was on so this guy, we come in the room. This guy's like face down. And he's laying there, and I'm like, Baba, how are you? He's like, pretty good, thank you. You know, I was like, yo, what? This guy's like, we didn't know at the time
that his femur.
We didn't know at the time that his femur was broken, but when we found out, I was like, holy crap, man! This guy's so positive. What a G! Like
he really was.
He was like, and he made a full recovery.
Yeah,
full recovery.
Yeah,
at
he came
92
back home
from a broken femur. Like, come on, man. Let's go.
He still would go for walks after his femur broke. He was he was going for a walk, and you know when the lights are on for pedestrians?
Yeah.
I guess the person didn't see him, and it was red, and he went on red, and he got hit by a car, and he fell, and nothing happened to him.
So that femur came back strong. Huh?
Yeah, and then he kept falling. Like when old people fall, the shock to their body gets them to have a stroke or something like that. So he had a stroke. We were
lucky to have him, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's crazy because luck can be taken for granted so easy.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've ever taken luck for granted? Your luck in like life?
Yeah, I think I have.
I think it's normal. We all do.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we can forget where we're at and the things that happen on the way to get there, and we lose sight of that, you know?
Yeah.
And we think just the other day I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm so lucky that I'm actually healthy.
Yeah.
Like I need to take better care of my body. You know?
Yeah, what you put in it and stuff.
Like that's luck. I think that's luck.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
What you're born with.
Yeah.
The condition your body is in, the condition that it will stay in, you know, its longevity. I think that's 100% luck.
No, it's not 100% luck.
Well, okay.
Because your diet and like movement plays a huge role.
Diet, but like let's say you're born with something genetic.
Yeah.
Right? It's like lucky if you don't get it, and it's luck, like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
That's crazy.
It's a higher luck and like the other diet and exercise, they're both like probably luck is higher. If genetically you had something in your family and you don't get it, that's luck.
What do you think? Do you think luck and chance are similar?
Chance?
Yeah.
Like give me an example of chance.
Like for me, the chances that I would be born with a white twin in my family would literally be all white.
They're similar.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel lucky.
James is going to be one of those people with the eye conspiracy with the eye colored. Have you guys ever seen it on TikTok? People who have colored eyes. Other people make fun of them because they're like.
I'm not like that. I should be. Maybe our podcast would blow up if I was like that.
Yeah. Just zoom in your eyes. This lady, one time we went, this like older lady, like a grandma. We went for breakfast and she was like, wow, your eyes are so nice.
Those are piercing.
Piercing. And her eyes were beautiful hazel. Did you
when
see
she
it?
did that, she's like, we were like, what the
And
heck?
I'm like, your eyes are
Yeah,
so
I know.
nice. And then she's
Crazy.
like, don't worry, I'm old. I was like, what?
It's good, dog. We didn't get that vibe from you.
You are like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So strange sometimes. People are so funny.
You're hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, no, I can see you're
Yeah. Actually, you know what's luck? 100% luck. Okay.
eye color.
Let's start naming things that we think are 100%
eye
luck.
color.
Eye color, for sure. Actually, no, eye color I think can be scientific. Yeah. Jeez.
Well, now we know who went to school.
Remember, this podcast is something that we've done little to no research.
About. Talk
on
about
the
yourself,
topics.
bro.
Bro, you're
I
just
took
catching me.
biology.
Yo, I caught myself. I was there.
All right, cool.
Get out of here, man.
You can have
You
that.
took biology? Explain how eyes are formulated then.
I took plant anatomy,
Oh
not human
my God.
anatomy.
What's that I'm not going to put you on blast.
Actually, I'll tell you guys a funny story. In my first year of university, I had biology as a whole as my major. And I remember my teacher was explaining this thing about saltwater fish and how they breathe. And like, what's the non-saltwater? Freshwater lake
Miss
fish.
freaking
No,
academia here.
Listen to this. It gets worse. She explained it, and then people were like, we don't get it. And she explained it again. She has slides. She's like, go home and look at the slides. I went home, looked at the slides. Didn't understand. I swear to God, I read it like 2-3 times, the slides. I'm like, I don't get it, man. And she said it's going to be on the test. I went to her office hours. She drew things for me, explained it so many times. And you remember, as she was explaining it, my mind kept going somewhere else.
It was so boring.
It was like,
The driest thing you could ever
I guess
listen
even
to.
you don't care to learn something, you know? But like I was there to learn. I went to her office hours and then it was on the test and I got it wrong. And then she asked me, she's like, Tina, what happened? I'm like, I have to be honest. I don't understand. She's like, it's okay. Sometimes some things just don't click in our heads. I'm like, but I tried really hard.
You try to force it too, huh?
Not knowing English as your first language is one thing, but learning like biology, because it has all other names, you know, like Latin names and
It
stuff.
has a whole different language.
Yeah, exactly. So is that your foot?
That's my foot.
It's so warm. Yeah, so you can feel good.
I do now. Feel better. Yo, listen, I have a little game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not really a game, but I think we should try to figure out how many things, because the only reason we're playing this is because I already have one answer. Yeah, I got a head start. How many things are actually just like luck in life?
Like we can give examples.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you want to go first?
You can go first.
I think one thing that comes to my mind is the way we got our house, the situation with our house. We got lucky, 100%.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because it was in the middle of like everybody buying homes and everything was so expensive. And unfortunately, the person who lived here had some issues with their marriage and they wanted to sell quickly. So we got lucky.
And Tina fell for the very, very, very crappy picture of some fake brick that was on an island.
And I loved it.
Fell in love with it.
I was like, you don't have to change this part. He's like, what? This is like a sticker of a brick.
Yeah, it was so bad. She's like, I like it. I was like,
I love
but
it.
that's what caught her attention in the picture. It was so funny.
So
Okay.
I think that was luck.
Yeah, that's luck. I would say how we met. How we met is luck.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I have another one in the back pocket.
That's so true. How we met is luck because I had gotten my first Samsung Galaxy Touch phone from my Sony Ericsson, like 1, 2, 3, 4 for text messages.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a sign at the top part, like the
What's that called
notification
again?
center. What?
That type of texting.
I don't know. I never knew.
QWERTY.
No, I don't know. Anyways, that little like sign at the notification center,
yeah.
it looked like a car and it had these zigzags around it. To this day, I still don't know what it is. I went in to ask what it was, like to the phone store, and that's where
Lo and
James
behold,
worked. And he was working
your
there
boy
because
was
he
there.
had a
knee injury.
so it's crazy. Now,
Yeah, that those two.
and the thing about luck is like you shouldn't, in my opinion, that's my belief that like you shouldn't, when you look at luck as bad luck or good luck, that's when it can really like mess with your head.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I can say that we're so lucky we met like that. But then if something happens, let's say between us and we're not together, then it's like, wow, I'm so unlucky. Why did I meet him that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can always look at a situation like that, and like depending on what
Attribute
happens.
different things.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of being positive in life in general, it's good to keep it that way.
What way?
Positive that you were lucky that happened. You know?
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I
bad
mean,
luck. Like
It's
bad
so
luck.
hard to say
I feel like
that.
bad luck is like isn't something that's just like one thing. Like here's something that you could say was bad luck, because I remember when I had my Nissan car,
Yeah.
the green one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was driving this car with no insurance, and my license had expired. So I was literally driving everywhere. And the one day I was going to church. Hallelujah. And I was driving to church, and I wanted to go to church.
Okay.
And if I didn't think I was going to be late by doing this too, I was like, man, I should just get some McDonald's. Like, I'm hungry. Should get some McDonald's instead of eating after. I don't care if I'm late. So I take a right and I go to McDonald's. And as I'm leaving McDonald's, I get onto the highway, and this guy pulls me over. Or this lady, female cop pulls me over. I was like, yo, your sticker's expired. I'm like, yeah. She's like, yo, your license is expired too. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I knew my sticker was expired.
But not
or
your
whatever.
license.
Not my license. You
So
know?
what happened?
Well, I had to, like, someone else drove it. Jesse, my friend Jesse drove it. And then I actually had to park it. I had to park the car, but I got a big fine for my license being expired. Right?
She fined you? She didn't forgive?
No, because I was willfully driving without. She could have got me with driving without a renewed sticker, not insurance.
Yeah.
But you can't get both without the other. You know what I mean?
So wait, what happened when you came to get me?
That was completely different.
Out?
That was completely different.
Was that, I know, but like, did you not fix it?
No. I think I took it from there, parked it somewhere else, and then that day is when it actually just all went down.
That night?
That night, yeah. When I lost my car.
Again, you drove it?
Well, I had to move it.
What do you mean? You came to get me to go clubbing?
I was on a different level.
The same day? This is the first time you're telling me this. That same day that happened? No.
No,
it was a Wednesday when we went out.
Not even close to
Oh,
that.
okay.
No. That
It's
car,
just-
the car was sitting there for so long, and I didn't drive it. And then I was like, yo,
Okay.
you're there. I'm like, obviously I'm going to pull up in a whip, you know? So
Like a nice whip.
I could look at that as like, bad luck. I think that was like, that's just, you know, that's like, that to me is like, that's just, is that just being an idiot?
Yes.
Or is that bad luck? Because
Because you could have not
I
gone
could
to
have just went to
McDonald's
church and I would have got away with
and not
it.
gotten caught. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good point.
Okay, here's another thing that I say was luck.
Okay.
Where you're born.
100%.
Like what country you're born in. You know, because that's
and
the
who
thing.
you're born, like what family you're born into.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that like really, really pisses me off is when people like, I understand there's so many other places in the world that are they don't have what we have, you know, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But if we live here, I was born here. I did not choose to be born here. I had no say in that.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is like, if the shoe was on the other foot, you think they'd be complaining about being born in a place that was better than, you know?
I'm not sure who you're referring to.
I'm talking about like people, because we've gotten comments before, like, like being born in Canada, or people who are like,
yeah.
You know, just.
Well, the comments are more towards me, like, oh, you left your country.
Okay, yeah. But I don't want to like get into those things, but I'm talking about like even people like where I read comments online about people. Like even the one comment where it said life in Canada. And this guy's like, well, go back to your thing.
Yeah.
Go back to, to your country. And I was like, I was born here. But like even saying that, it's like, and people are like, you should be grateful that you have work and all this stuff. It's like, yo, shut up, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't choose to be here. I'm just like, I chose to.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice into where you were born.
Have a choice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're just born there.
Yeah.
And there's bad spots in this country too.
Of course. I mean, it's all perspective.
100%.
Yeah. Like, I could say that I was born in a country at a time where the country isn't a good country, but I still consider myself lucky to be born there because of my culture, my family, like everything about my country I love. So even the parts that I don't agree with, it's still part of me and makes me who I am and makes the people love you on who they are.
Yeah.
And it's actually very interesting to see how people are from different cultures, I think.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I actually kind of just had a little like
Epiphany.
revelation, epiphany. It's like, people who do wrong or like who are part of like groups that are like so extreme. Like cults. No, I wouldn't say cults. I would say like militias or like.
Militias?
Yeah, like a militia is like a private army. Or like where civil wars break out.
Are you pronouncing malicious incorrectly?
No. Like a militia. It's like unofficially formed army kind of thing, right?
Oh.
Like they would be like lead a revolution kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Vigilantes.
No, a vigilante is like a solo person.
Oh, this
who
is
like
a group
defends
of
the innocents.
Okay.
Right? A group of people, a militia would be like
like in movies.
People like, let's say like people who come out of the jungle to fight to you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
change it. Okay. You think about those and it's like, or like, and you're like, man, why would you do that? They're so stupid. But maybe they were just born into that.
Of course.
And they don't do that. I was just thinking that. I'm like, man, it's so easy for you to for me to sit and think, why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, because you're
so cruel. You're an idiot.
You're quick to judge, right?
Yeah, we're so quick to judge, but then we don't know that maybe they feel lucky that they were born in, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. That's why when I watch cult series and things or read about it and stuff, I always feel so bad for kids who were born into the cult, Yeah. It's just like they had no choice and they were forced.
That's the hardest.
Like those kids will have even if they break free and the cult kind of disperses. Yeah,
they're still gonna have that tie. Like, did I do the right thing by leaving?
Exactly.
Or did they feel like it was broken up?
Yeah.
And they just had to go with the fact that the cult was ended.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So sometimes it's not, I guess, the person's choice. Where obviously that's luck. Yeah, it's for sure luck where you're born. That's why sometimes I think about that. I'm like, wow, like, is this place that, like, if we ever have kids, we should raise our kids? Like, I always thought it would be different. I don't know how to explain it. I'm like, I don't want to say our town, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is it. Like, this is where, if we have a family, they're going to be raised here, go to school. Like, I always thought it would be but then everywhere is really messed up.
I think it's all the same.
Yeah,
very similar. I think some have pros and cons.
Yeah.
Right? That's life in general.
Yeah, exactly. So what other things can we be lucky for? So our health, you said, is one of them.
I think you're lucky. It's luck how your parents choose to raise you.
Is it luck?
Their choices, you have no control over that. In your formative years, you have no control.
For the child, I guess.
For the child, yeah. Well, if that's for every individual, you're lucky if your parents make the right choices or you feel they make the right choices.
Yeah, you're lucky if your parents actually did some research into how to be a good parent.
Or put you on a good path. Because think about some parents. Think about how serial killers come. Think about those scenarios. That kid was born, he had no chance. And in their formative years, things happened, that outside of their control. So I think because essentially our lives were in their hands. And if we have children, our child's life is going to be in our hands.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is like no matter what you do, you're gonna mess up somehow.
Yeah.
You know, because our parents, their parents, they were all just people who were hurt from their parents.
Yeah, you're always gonna lack
They
something.
can all, yeah. I wonder, you know, does it end with people just not having kids so that they don't pass on these things to the next person, or does it end with people educating themselves properly so they can be good parents as
I
much
think
as
it needs
they
to
can?
start with people just having kids. Like, you don't have to just have kids.
Yeah, just to have kids.
Oh yeah, this is what you do. You have a family. Like, not everybody needs to have a family.
Not
So many
everyone-
kids.
Not everyone should have a family.
Yeah, look at how many messed up children there are because their parents couldn't handle them after they decided, oh, I can't have a family, or I shouldn't have had a family, or this is too much.
I watched this documentary a few years back, and since we've been talking about kids just the past minute or so, all I can think about is that kid. His name was Gabriel. The documentary is Gabriel, and his last name is Ferris, I think. And it has stayed with me like this whole time. Like,
Really?
yeah, and it's just so
You don't have
sad.
to say it if you don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I don't recommend anyone watching that. It was so sad
dark.
because it's true, right? It's a true story. And it's just like you think about that kid, probably the unluckiest kid I've ever met. And I'm sure there's so much more of that. That's the sad part about the world.
I watched a
Man.
show where there was a kid like that. He was a
Yeah,
guy.
so he was being mistreated by his own mom and the mom's boyfriend. But then her other kids, she wasn't treating like that. So like that's the ultimate. He was unlucky.
Yeah, that was just a diss.
Because it's like, what? You know, no one ever understood why she did that to him only.
Mm-hmm.
Even the siblings. Like, the siblings have major survival guilt. Because
Yeah.
it's like, why didn't our mom do that to us? Remember we were just watching Love
What the
Island?
heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Remember in the Love Island, the guy's like, my mom was mean to my sisters, but not me. And he was crying because, like, you're just, like, wondering, you know? Why didn't I
why
have
not
it?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Luck plays a huge part of everybody's life, but we also have a choice in it,
Yeah.
in the decisions that we make. I also read in the same book that I was reading how for people who make hasty decisions, and how it was talking about you need to take a long time to think about things. They said one way to like not just let your let luck kind of take over because you think, oh, I have good intentions, but I know this action is not going to cause good consequences, but I'm going to do it because I don't mean
Might
anyone
work
any
out.
harm,
Yeah.
you know, and not think about it. They said one way to do that is to think about the regret before you regret it. So you think about, okay, and I naturally do that with everything.
Right.
Like if I'm like going inside the store and I'm like, oh, I can't find my keys to like lock the car. Immediately I'm like, what if I come back and the car is gone? I lock it right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like this book was saying, think about the regret before making the decision, and majority of the time you will make the right decision. Of course, not all scenarios are so black and white.
Yeah.
Majority of scenarios are not black and white.
It's a good baseline to start off with.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Like think about like that's what I thought about decisions in your life, because I was thinking about myself that you made without thinking about the regret.
Oh, I made tons.
But like how? How do people not think about the regret? I've never done that.
No, because you prioritize other things instead. That's
But
why,
like
because
what?
you're not like, I mean,
That's crazy.
I feel like it's, I don't know.
How
I'll
does
speak for myself. I know that there's just
if
things
you just
that,
don't think about the consequences?
well, there's so many other contributing factors. Right?
Like?
There's like, what's the intention for doing it, for one, right? Because everything that you're doing is going to impact somebody else. Do you know what I
and
mean?
like you just don't care?
Yeah, I think that it's like what when you prioritize, especially like if it's like negative, I think it's you prioritize yourself over
That's so crazy.
the world or your whoever your surroundings, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like positive, that's really when you start thinking about like more outcomes and stuff like that. When it's negative, it's like almost like an instinct. I don't know what it is that you just like, you want to not think about the bad that comes from it.
How?
I don't know. For me, I mean, I'm not speaking for
No,
like
that's
anybody
why
else,
this
but
is where we're so different, because there's no
yeah,
way I
I mean,
cannot think about the negative outcome of something before I do it. There's no way.
well, I can. Like, I'm not saying I can't,
No, I know.
but I do make quick decisions. I make snap decisions. I feel like though I'm thinking about other things and not really that.
But your
And
mind doesn't like doesn't tell you, hey man, like, nah, this is the right,
no,
not the right.
sometimes
You
it
just ignore it,
no, sometimes I think that I have a better plan, right?
even
That
if you don't.
yeah, like I actually no, that's the whole reason why it ends up being so like let's say I make a decision that ends poorly.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I get so offended. Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. The reason why I would get so offended or like defensive about it is because I had a legitimate reason that I thought it would work, you know?
But
Like,
are those legitimate reasons actually legitimate in your mind?
I don't know, man.
Or do you make them up?
No, they're legit. Well, they're obviously legitimate. They're obviously legitimate enough for you to do it. You know what I mean?
Your brain can kind of make it legitimate. So
The
you would
mind is
do what
crazy,
you want to
no.
do. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say because like so many times you can be convinced of certain things. Look at shopping. Okay. Look at marketing. It's the exact same thing. You know that spending that money is probably not going to benefit you the way that they're saying it is. You know the outcome, but you still do it because in your mind, you make up reasons why you need it or why you want it or why you do it, and you do it anyways. Right? So I think it's kind of similar to that, not maybe on the same grand scheme, but it's the same kind of concept that like there's like these justifications and rationalizations for you to do that or purchase it or bring that, you know, like.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of different for me because I can still, like, if I buy something I know I shouldn't, I don't lie to myself I need it. I'm like, no, I just want it, and it's bad, but I want it.
Yeah, that's like a good thing. But like, you know, sometimes I mean, for me personally, I never felt like
You
when you don't
deserve
feel
to want it.
when you feel like you don't deserve it or you're not deserving of it or there's something else for me, something always had to be attached to me getting something that I needed. Like I'd
Your
have to do
birthday?
something to get what I wanted. I'd have to perform a certain way or be good or this or that. It was never just I could just get it because I wanted it or here's a gift because I love you. It was always some kind of occasion or just, you know what I mean? So there's always something with that. So even if you're going to make those snap decisions, maybe that's where I would come from. We're having like a little therapy session for me, where I would like kind
For
of
both of us,
think about why I want it, why this is good for me.
Yeah.
Why should I do this?
You almost have to make a reason as to, like, a justification as to why you need to buy it.
Yeah.
You can't just tell yourself, yeah, I just want it, you know?
Well, I tell myself that, but then it has to be, but I feel the guilt thing's like, yeah, it's weird, man. It's crazy the internal struggles that you can have as a person.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. And like they can really make or break relationships in your life, I think. Like if you
Big
allow
time.
it to affect you in the long run. Because like I can tell you with money, I used to be very careless in my early 20s. And like by even like by 23, 24, I tightened it. I figured it out. Financially, I became really organized and I was able to like save and help you save and pay your debt and like do all of those things. So it's like hard for me to ever go back to like being a kid. Because I was being a kid, an irresponsible kid, you know? Because I had the means to do it. I lived in my parents' house for free. I didn't have to pay rent. Like, that's not how it is for us.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to save. But a lot of people who are in my shoe, they still don't learn how to do that because they never had to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So they still kind of rely on credit cards or parents or family or whatever it may be. But I feel lucky that I was able to kind of mentally get myself there where I can make responsible financial decisions so that if I ever want something, I don't feel bad for wanting it. I deserve it. This is what my brain tells me because I don't do it so much that it affects my finances in the long run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so true.
It's so interesting, eh?
Yeah.
And I did it for myself because I can tell you, like, yeah, my mom is a good example for not spending too much money, but she's also very extreme. She doesn't do anything for herself.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So I find myself kind of thinking, like, sometimes like her, right? Most of the time, I would say. But I also had a dad who was a spender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to find the balance in between, which I think this is a therapy session for us, I think, because I feel really happy with the way I kind of handle that for me, for myself.
Yeah, I know. That's a good thing, right? Well, that's what put us where we are.
Yeah, I'm able to,
because there's no way in hell I'm not a saver, right? Like I need to be coached. I need help. Yeah, I'm lucky to have you for that.
This is how we're gonna bring it back in.
Bring it back in. Yeah, so I think, to wrap things up, I think luck should be tied with gratefulness
and positivity. Yeah.
Right.
And good decisions.
Yeah. I think I consider myself lucky.
What? Yeah, me too. What is that one cartoon, Oliver Twist? Like, he was unlucky.
Oh, it's not a cartoon.
Well, we watched the cartoon.
Oh, okay. Shame.
I think maybe back home. Yeah, I think so. Or maybe it was
the little dark. Sir, can I have some more?
Yeah,
you wanted like the soup and stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, this is something you guys can think about, and you can think about too. Do you guys think that how generations have changed, people are now more lucky than before? Think about it. Like how much war there used to be. Like,
yeah, I think the internet made a lot of people lucky.
Yeah,
I think it did. I think it gave a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Man, there's always good and bad in everything, but if you choose to look at it in a good way, I think it's just easier.
Yeah, you can be like, hey. Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Yeah. We'll wrap it up. I know we talked a lot, but this was a very interesting topic.
It was, yeah.
It got deep.
Got onto another level.
You know what I like is like when I talk to you guys after we post our episodes, it's so nice because it's like we were all in this conversation together.
Yeah.
So never stop messaging us about this stuff. Like we love it. We talk about it. We're like, oh, look, this person also did this. Or like you share something with us. It's really nice. We don't just come and sit here and we feel like we're only talking to each other.
Literally a single comment that's it. We're good.
Yeah.
Even the fact that we get viewers and downloads and people watch this on YouTube and people download it on.
It's so nice. It doesn't matter if it's a million or like 100 or 10 people.
That's why we said we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, because it feels really good to be able to talk and like let things out every week and then hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So thank you for that. We love you.
We love you guys.
Have a nice week.
Have a really good week. Weekend, I guess.
Friday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.